Have you ever stayed awake at night, worrying about whether you've really got what it takes to manage a business, department, or workforce? Let's face it, being a successful manager, supervisor, or business owner isn't easy. If you don't know what you're doing, it shows. Frankly, it's something you just can't fake. Of course, some people think it's easy to move from being an employee to being the boss. Wrong. Just take a look at their businesses or departments. The results speak for themselves. Poor morale, bad decisions, high staff turnover, and general confusion. It doesn't have to be that way, though. Managing and supervising are skills, and you can learn skills. The trouble is, though, most managing and supervising programs out there are just too simplistic in their concepts and examples. Instead of actually laying down any principles, they use a touchy-feely, multi-perspectives approach, which results in a confused student wondering just what the heck he or she was supposed to have learned. Signing up for courses like these can leave you wasting a lot of time, spending a lot of money, with very little to show for it. Sound familiar? But now there's good news. Recently, I discovered a long-lost manuscript by highly acclaimed authors Herbert Watson and Louis K. Urquhart. This gem from a golden age of business is the secret resource many top managers and supervisors used to perfect their skills years ago. Why? Well, the reason is simple. It's clearly based on experience rather than the dry old management theories peddled by most boring textbooks. Revised and updated to meet today's needs, this newly released work is called The Knack of Managing and Supervising. It's the quickest and easiest way for new managers and supervisors to understand their role, to see what needs to be done, to work out the best way of doing it, and to supervise their subordinates to achieve those goals instead of doing the job themselves. Inside this magnificent work, you'll get a comprehensive workbook manual based on the original manuscript, packed with practical examples and case studies, diagrams, illustrations, and useful exercises, plus 11 concise video tutorials. It's not everything you ever wanted to know on the subject of managing and supervising, but it's one heck of an impressive first-stage education. Click the Add to Cart button below to grab your copy today. The work is divided up into 3 sections. Section 1 is developing a management mindset. When you know these secrets, you'll begin to understand and think like a boss. It covers things like the 5 steps to successfully managing any task or situation, what to do first before you do anything else, how to figure out what needs to be done next. Skipping this is a recipe for disaster. Goal setting and how to make sure your goal can be achieved every time. Drawing up an action plan that's guaranteed to work. Setting up a system. How to keep everyone working. Meeting deadlines. And a lot more. Section 2 is becoming a supervisor. Here's where you develop the most important skill every boss needs to have: getting other people to cooperate. You'll also discover things like the most important thing to bear in mind when you want someone to do something for you. Should you treat everyone who works for you the same or differently? Time management. What tasks you should delegate to others and what you should keep for yourself, and why. Employee empowerment. Communication. Introducing new working practices. Morale. Setting clear expectations. Carrying out a time and motion study and other ways of increasing efficiency. And a ton more. Section 3. Getting your priorities in order. It can be a shock to the system when you have to start juggling all the extra demands that come with being a manager or supervisor. So this section covers things like prioritizing tasks and resources, why some small things can have big repercussions, how to tell when something really is trivial and when it isn't, when it's acceptable to bend the rules a bit and when you should play it strictly by the book, and more besides. Click the Add to Cart button below and get your copy right now. Some things have changed since Watson and Urquhart's day though, so when you take action today, you'll get access to these extremely valuable fast action bonuses. Fast action bonus number 1 is a video and workbook about motivation. According to a recent survey, keeping employees motivated is the number one problem many managers and supervisors have. In this extra video and training manual, I explain how to tell if you have a motivation problem, why people become unmotivated, the 2 types of employee motivation and how you can tap into them, why money alone isn't always the best motivator, what motivators work, what motivators don't work, and a lot more, including some case studies highlighting the right and wrong way to do things. If you have a problem with motivating your employees, absenteeism, low morale, high staff turnover, etc., you won't want to miss this. Fast Action Bonus number 2 is a set of audio podcasts and transcriptions. I've tracked down some of the world's top experts and got them to spill the beans to me over the phone on subjects that managers and supervisors have told me they want to know more about. The first podcast is Team Working with Catherine Paris. As former head of the Women in Need Network, Catherine Paris has had many years of experience building and managing teams in both the corporate and non-profit sectors. Listen in as she talks me through how to build a winning team, managing people in teams, team building exercises, the 3 different types of teams, characteristics of good teams and what to do if things turn sour, formal and informal groups, effective communications within teams, why the best of friends can make the worst of teammates, leadership within work groups, and much, much more. Podcast number 2 is Recruitment with Laurie Barber. Laurie is the author of 2 books on the subject of recruitment and retention, Recruiting and Selecting Top Employees and Human Resources Essentials. One thing that many new managers and supervisors find daunting is getting the right people to work for them. All of a sudden the tables are turned and you go from being the interviewee looking for a job to the interviewer looking to fill a position. Laurie talked me through the entire hiring process, including what to do before you even think about hiring someone, the 3 phases of interviewing, the best place to look for new employees, and it's probably not somewhere you may have thought of, how many interviews you should conduct before making a hiring decision, one-on-one interviews or an interview panel, which is best, Laurie explains, places you can advertise your job opening for free, what you should expect to pay if you employ someone via an agency, how you can counter the sort of stock answers people try to give in interviews and find out what they really know, the right sort of questions to ask at an interview, questions you should never ask at an interview, and more. The information in this fact-filled podcast could save you and your company thousands, but you get it for free. Podcast number 3, Customer Relationship Management with Dave Paget. Just the mention of the words Customer Relationship Management, or the letters CRM, is enough to turn many a manager or supervisor's knees to jelly. Fortunately, I was able to get Dave Paget to give me the benefit of his many years' experience in customer relationship management, including time spent working for one of the UK's largest information companies. and he helps me to clear up some of the confusion. Listen in as Dave explains why customer relationship management is more than just an application of software, what a CRM system can and can't do for your company, the difference between operational, collaborative, and analytical CRM systems, why a CRM system isn't right for every company, how long it takes to train someone to use a CRM system, the best ways to integrate a CRM system into your current operation, how a CRM system can make it easy for your salespeople to upsell, why it's crucial to get everyone in the company or department on board with a CRM system, and how it only takes a few people to blow the entire system, and a whole lot more. Dave also shares some amazing anecdotes, including how a company's CRM system helped him to turn a customer complaint into a high-value sale over the phone in just 45 minutes. In fact, there's so much information packed into this interview, I've had to split it into 2 separate podcasts as it's just too much to absorb in one go. Even if you're an experienced manager or supervisor, small business owner, trainer, or HR executive, you'll benefit immensely from the knack of managing and supervising because it's loaded with practical advice you can start to use right away. If you're someone hoping to be promoted to a management or supervisory position, the knack of managing and supervising will give you the cutting edge over other candidates. But the best part of the knack of managing and supervising is the price. If you were to attend a seminar on this subject, it might set you back thousands. But you won't pay anywhere near that when you make the wise decision to get the knack today. For a strictly limited time, you can get the knack of managing and supervising for less than it will cost you to buy a new suit or outfit for work. But you don't have to make a decision today. You get a full 30 days to test drive the course and make sure this is for you. If for any reason, or no reason at all, you're not 100% satisfied with this powerful guide to managing and supervising, simply let me know and I'll promptly refund your tiny investment. But please don't delay. If you come back tomorrow, the price may be higher or this course might not even be available. You'll be amazed at how simple and easy it is to become an effective and successful boss with the knack of managing and supervising. If you're ready to learn how, as quickly as possible, click the button below to get instant access and get started right now.